These end range lumbar spine flexion liftoffs is a bit of a word salad, but really what we're going to be doing in this exercise is working on learning how to control your low abs to control some of your lumbar spine. A lot of people struggle to know how to use their low abs, let alone don't have the strength to actually use them to move their spine, which is one of the purposes of your abs. So for this exercise, you either are going to, you might need a wedge like I have here, or some sort of a yoga mat or a towel that you can roll up if you are progressed and you need a little bit more of a deeper position to get into to start. So I will show what that looks like in a couple different levels, but the key with these liftoffs is going to be finding the position that is challenging for you, where you can feel what you need to, you don't have any pain or anything that is compensations, and you're able to still do the exercise where you can lift your pelvis, which is what we're aiming to move, lift our spines with these liftoffs just a little bit, but it's still very challenging. So for this exercise, you're gonna lay on your back and we're going to find your lumbar flexion position. So lumbar flexion is going to be rounding your back into the ground. Lumbar extension would be arching your back away. We are gonna work on finding our end range lumbar flexion, so knees to chest and back pressed into the ground. Then from there, you would try to do a liftoff. A liftoff is going to be, okay, can I get into more lumbar flexion? So really what that's going to be, what that's going to feel like and look like, is finding those low abs, pressing into the ground. Use those little abs to press into the ground and contract them harder and harder until you're able to bring your knees into your chest and you're able to lift your tailbone off the ground. So if you are in this position and you feel your weight on your pelvis here, we are shifting the weight away from your pelvis and up towards your lumbar spine just a little bit more. So that's what the liftoff is gonna look like, and then you're gonna hold for the 3 to 5 seconds and reset. Then you're gonna do it again. That is going to be your liftoff. Now, here's what I don't want to see. What you should not be doing is using your hip flexors in a lot of momentum. We are not aiming for momentum because we are trying to maximize control in this exercise, so we don't want to be using momentum. The other thing that we don't want to be doing is pushing and feeling like we are straining, like we can't breathe, like all of our pressure is pushing forwards, pushing into our pelvic floors, or we feel a lot of pressure in our abdomen in one spot. It should be directed evenly, and if it's not, if we have any of these things happening, it's too challenging for us, we want to back off. Now, if you did that and you felt like you could lift a ton, then we can make it a little bit more challenging by putting a wedge under you. So the lower the wedge is, the less challenging it is, and the higher it is, the more high we are working on your spine. So depending on what area of your back you want to work on, you can place the wedge there. Now, from here, it's the same exact steps. We're going to press our backs into the ground, lift the tailbone off the wedge, and hold for those 5 seconds. Now, I do want to say, if you cannot lift your full pelvis off, if it's still touching, but there's less pressure there and you can feel the pressure shifting, that also is okay, and you can hold that for the 3 to 5 seconds. That's also fine to do to start. Your goal is to build that strength up so eventually you can lift more and more. That would be a sign of progress and something to work towards. But over time, you should feel that you can connect with those muscles a little bit more and actually feel like you can move your spine and have a lot more awareness and strength and basically ownership of your range of motion by doing this exercise. So meet your body where it is today, slowly progress, be consistent, and you should reap all the benefits.